Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Anditesh Ordo. Today I'm going to be talking about the assassin bodyguard of Grand Admiral Thrawn, Rukh. So, in some comments in one of my recent videos talking about Thrawn's guard, which was the Death Troopers, and the Thrawn's droids, which would have been in the training droids that he had, I failed to mention there is a character that could also support Thrawn. Now, I could see where he can maybe be a very agile tank, where he's like a fast, speedy tank. He works really well with Thrawn, but maybe he's just an attacker, and he does like maybe if Thrawn fractures, Rukh is called in to assist or something of that nature, or maybe he has a unique that if he or Thrawn are active, they both have a 40-45% chance to assist each other anytime they use a basic attack or something like that. That would kind of, change some things about the character. I don't know how they would work him. I know they're probably... I can assume in the next year and a half, they're going to add Rukh into the game. Now, I don't know if they would really add the droid or the other Death Trooper into the game, but at least I have the idea out there. Maybe a developer will pick it up, and who knows, maybe that'd be one of the ideas that I helped. And if it wasn't 100% my idea at the beginning, at least it's an idea out there for the developers to play with. So one of the things I could say about Rukh is, at least watching the few Rebels episode, is how he was so agile, so dexterous, so flexible, stuff like that, where he was quick. He ran on all four hands and feet. It's kind of weird, but it's just a different creature, and we never really saw that in I know in Legends we had like the comics about Nugri or Rukh, but I guess Disney kind of changed it up a bit so he was a little different. And, I think it's kind of a cool concept. Yes, he does look a little different than his Legends counterpart. I bet a lot of Legends fans... even though I'm a Legends fan, I unfortunately have not read the Thrawn books. The Thrawn trilogy, I will be probably picking them up in the next couple of months so I can read them. But for the most part, Rukh is a really cool concept that they've kind of brought in. So him being, very agile, very fast. He could be a fast attacker in this game for the Empire. I did, in my recent video, I did talking about legendary characters characters that could have been legendary, Talzin and Wicket. I mentioned at the end that I have to, investigate a little bit into Rukh if he was more Imperial. And yes, he is, he is loyal to the Imperial faction, just like he was, in Legends. So I should have known that, kind of going off of, Nugri always aligning with the Empire. So hey, maybe a new dark side faction I may look into is Nugri. I may look into that as one of my what if videos. So keep in mind for that. So some concept ideas for Rukh. I feel like with him, he would definitely have to be fast, and maybe have a new ability called like similar to like Assassin's Target. That's what it was. Assassin's Target, where as long as he's facing against Assassin's Target, they have maybe negative 25% evasion and negative 25% accuracy, and then maybe negative 25% crit chance and crit damage. So that there's like four things about it, so that it's harder to hit Rukh. And this is only if Rukh is facing them, and maybe the Zeta ability would be to where he allows Empire allies to, or at least Thrawn to, also gain these or the effect where if a assassin's target is targeting Rukh or Thrawn, You know, they don't hit as hard, maybe less offense, something of that nature. So I don't know. There's ways to play around with this, but it would be a unique design as having an assassin's target. I'm sure they may do something in the near future or within the next couple of years with bounty hunters, like, you know, a bounty's target or a bounty, and it's like a negative stats effect that can't be dispelled. This would be kind of that way, but it'd only stay on the target for 3, maybe 4 turns, and have a way of, you know, like you knock out Nugri, then the target goes away, kind of thing. So I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to see what they do with Nugri, or I mean Rukh. I keep calling him Nugri. I think I may be mispronouncing that, and I do apologize for all the Legends fans. I will admit I'm a Legends fan, but not to the degree of a lot of other Legends fans. Like, I liked the Bane books. I liked Karen Travis's Republic Commando books. But, you know, I unfortunately have never gotten into the Throne books or the Throne comic. I don't read the comics much because I just don't have, you know, my finances aren't able to get me comics to read all the time. I know there's some online things you could do with comics, so you can read comics online even though you pay for them. And I wouldn't mind getting into that in the near future, so I may do some reviews if I ever get to that point, but until then, I'm not to that point, so. But yeah, going back to Rukh, I feel like he's going to be a really unique character for the dark side and for the Empire, and he would be supporting 2 great factions. I still feel like he does have a feel of a scoundrel. I may be wrong on this, but if he's a scoundrel, then he probably wouldn't help scoundrels. He'd just be, you know, supported by scoundrels. If he was under a scoundrel team, maybe he'd just be pure Empire. Well, you know, we'll see what the developers decide to do. But for the most part, yeah, this is Rukh. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What would you like to see Rukh's abilities be like? How would you, you know, envision Rukh being in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Again, yes, I may have spoiled it, like I spoiled it in the Wicket and Talzin video I recently posted, but yes, I'm going to do a future video on the Nugri species. Of course, it won't be it won't be today. It'll probably be a few days from now to a week from now or so when I get, you know, stuff developed on it. And, you know, we'll see how the Nugri pull out. Of course, the Nugri, the only one in canon right now is Rukh, from my understanding. But there are Legends Nugri, so, and their species can, you know, I'm sure they can vary a little bit. So yeah, like right now, looking it up, Rukh is the only Nugri in canon. So it probably won't be till later on down the road, unless they make them, you know, go off Legends. So, but yeah, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. And you guys have a wonderful day.